Good evening. New figures suggest that the value of workers' wages in the UK has suffered one of the sharpest falls of any country across the European Union. According to statistics from the House of Commons Library, real wages, which include the impact of inflation, have fallen by 5.5% since the middle of 2010. The Treasury says the government has taken action to help with the cost of living, such as increasing the amount people can earn before they pay tax. Here's our business correspondent, Joe Lynham.
That the pounds in our wallets buy less and less every month won't come as a shock to many households. Since July 2010, wages have been stagnant in Britain, while inflation has been well above its target, which means that real wages have gone down. Wages in the UK fell by 5.5%, while comparably large European economies such as France and Germany have seen their wages rise by 0.4% and 2.7% respectively. And there were countries who fared far worse than Britain. Portuguese real wages fell by 8%, while in another Eurozone bailout country, Greece, they fell by over 11%.
The present government really are out of touch. They're trying to suggest that everything is fine in the economy when we know, and working people themselves know, that they have taken a hit. Their incomes have been squeezed. They're seeing prices that are rising faster than wages, and they know from the money that's coming into their pockets and the bills that they have to pay that things are getting tough.
The Treasury spokesperson said that the government had taken continued action to help with the cost of living, including plans to raise the tax-free personal allowance to £10,000 and freezing fuel duty and council tax. This research was requested by the Labour Party and carried out by the House of Commons Library. Its choice of starting point, just as the coalition came to power, is very deliberate. Doubtless the government would have chosen a more flattering start date. There's no doubt, though, that the hit being taken by many households over the last few years has been very pronounced. And with the Bank of England signalling that it doesn't expect inflation to come down towards its target level before the end of next year, the recovering UK economy may not benefit households for a while yet. Joe Lynham, BBC News.
With me now is our political correspondent, Ben Wright. Ben, why are Labour attacking on this front so eagerly?
Well, I think the living standards argument, Nick, is politically potent. There are a couple of classic election campaigns that parties tend to fight on. There's one, if you're a governing party, where you say you have rescued the economy, pulled it back from the brink, and you ask voters not to risk it by letting the other lot back in. And there's a strategy often deployed by oppositions where they ask voters directly whether they feel better off now than they did last time round. And I think we're going to see both of those battles played out come the general election. Now, it's been a tricky moment, this, for Labour. There are complaints within its ranks that it lacks policy. Another Labour MP spoke out today. There is clearly an economic recovery underway and it's working out how to respond to it, which is why it's jumped on these figures to show that since the coalition came to power, wages have been falling, and it wants to pin the blame on the coalition. The coalition, of course, understand the risks of a recovery that doesn't actually make people feel any better. So it will try hard from now until the election to put the blame for this fall on wages on the economic crisis that happened on Labour's watch. So I think the whole argument about how to repair the economy after the recession is beginning to shift to one on what sort of recovery this actually is and how it affects people's pockets.
Ben, thank you very much.